When you're reading a script, are you looking for a character that has a bit more of a wit or clever dialogue, or just really layered that has depth to them?
I like the comedic level. I mean, on Hercules and
Yeah.
Andromeda, I had lived a lot. There were a lot of things that, the writers for Hercules, and we're in New Zealand, they were in Los Angeles, so they're 9,000 miles away. So
Wow.
we couldn't. I kept an open dialogue with them all the time because I would always stay 2 scripts ahead of what we were filming, so I could read ahead of time. I could call and ask questions about stuff.
Yeah.
If things didn't make sense to me, I always asked for clarification, and then I would say, hey, it's not changing what you're saying, but what if I said this instead? I mean, because
Right.
I get everybody gets touchy about stuff, and I don't want to step on people's toes. But when we ad-libbed on Hercules, a lot of times it would be in places where they could certainly edit it out.
Yeah.
There's a line that I did that's got like 20 million hits where I yelled out disappointed. And a lot of people think the writers had written me to say another line with parentheses around it in a disappointed way.
Yeah.
Now, here's what happened. The character was a sovereign who was an alter ego of Hercules, from like a bilateral universe. And I end up in Hercules' world, and I'm sitting there. I got the goatee and the mustache going.
Yeah.
And I go, wait a minute, this isn't my world. And for whatever reasons, Kevin Kline and A Fish Called Wanda popped into my head. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I just went, disappointed. I just yelled it out. And they kept it in there, and it's become like a massive meme, which is hilarious.
That's fantastic.
I've met people at Comic-Cons that have it on their iPhones when like their wife or girlfriend calls. Discipline is their ring.
Oh, that's great. Oh man. I mean, yeah, to break into pop culture like that, it's just absolutely amazing. And to know that you ad-libbed that in there and that you weren't actually like reading the parenthetical. See, I had no idea. This is great to get kind of like tidbits like this.
Well, I get that like every Comic-Con I go to, and you do the Q&A, you got hundreds of fans, and that question is always asked. And
yeah. With the dialogue then, do you find working with the writers, can it be difficult? Do they not want you to change an ad-lib, or are they pretty good with it?
They're pretty good with it. I know I could tell that the writers on Hercules and Andromeda all started sort of saying, I'll bet Sorbo will say this. I could see they would throw things in. Because there was a couple things in Andromeda that, every act out is usually, if it's not comedic, it's like 400 ships have just come in front of my ship.
Right, yeah.
And I just started saying 2 things. I would say, I go, it's never easy. Or is it great? Something. And they start putting that in those tag outs when you go into commercial.
You probably don't want a ton of dialogue that you have to kind of memorize, do you? You probably want to just have it kind of clean. If
it writes well from my brain, if it flows, I can memorize pretty quickly.
Okay.
If it on Andromeda, Lexa Doig as Andromeda, she got all the tough tech dialogue. So we got
that's no babble.
We have some great outtakes of her, because she's like a trucker with if I can say that. When she made a mistake, she would just F this, and I mean she'd go crazy.
Wow.
Hilarious.
If I have an actor and I'm working with them on a script, I try and write towards their voice. And it sounds like what the approach you take is you're going to put your voice in it no matter what. Have you worked with a writer that has tried to work towards your voice to kind of make your job easier, or do you just kind of get in there?
Certainly. Yeah. No, I've worked with writers. I've got 2 scripts that just came to me now, and they said, when I wrote this with you in mind. And I probably get like 20 of those a year. I can't look at everything. I got my own production company, Sorbo Family Film Studios.
What kind of tips could you give a writer out there?
I think the most important thing is once your script is done, because a lot of times, you guys are writing, it's 3 a.m, you're doing your own thing, and it's just you and your cubby hole, wherever you're in.
Our cave.
Once it's done, I think it's important that you find a group of actors to read it out loud.
Yeah, a table
read it out loud so you hear the voice from other people and how they're reading as well. I think that's where a lot of holes, so to speak, you can find.